Hello there, YouTube. My name is Chuggy, and look, I'm in a Formula 1 car. Yes, we're back. Today I am joined by Tom in the other Force India. Say hello, sir.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm also joined by Mr. Mike. Say hello, Mr. Mikes.
Hello.
And we'll get to Mike's in a second. But also we're joined by Jake.
Jake Warrior.
Yes, and Tom and Jake are in a championship thing. Are you recording and uploading that, or?
No, it's Joe that's recording, and it's called the Warriors League. So check out Supernatural Guy on YouTube. He shall have the footage.
Anyway, dual perspective. We're going to be talking all sorts of shenanigans right now. Mr. Mikes, first of all, let's get to. Mr. Mikes is walking wounded. I don't know if you want to talk about it, Mikes, or what.
I'm just genuinely dying. It sucks. Tonsillitis and fucking gas. It's just all wrong. It's all wrong.
Indeed.
I don't physically think I could get any more illnesses at once if I tried, apart from AIDS, and I really don't want that. I mean, I'll leave it at like tonsillitis, I think, and the rest.
So yes, Mr. Mikes is a little ill, but I expect he's probably just going to smoke as badly, isn't he, Tom? Oh, you're going to our track. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Well, anyway, so today we are at Spa. We're at Spa for good reason. It is the next stop on the 6-axis Formula 1 Championship. Myself and Tom have just found out we have qualified for the finals, so actually we could not bother turning up, and we would be fine. We'd be through. But we're not going to do that.
I still want to beat Lima. I mean, I'm only 11 points ahead.
Exactly. Only. Anyway.
Yeah.
What we've decided to do is to release our setups. Two reasons. First of all, we don't need them. We don't need to be competitive with through, and we want good close racing. Second of all, hopefully we can explain why we have set up the cars the way we have. So Tom's gone out to track. I expect he might come back later and do it, but I'll talk you through mine now.
I've just shown them my setup. Well, I'll go through it later after I just set a time, so that you have time to talk, and then I can come in and talk about mine, sort of thing.
Very well. And Mike, if you have anything to add, feel free to say so.
I shall do.
So, if you guys recall, myself and Tom, we did a video on Gran Turismo 5 out car setup, and if you want a more in-depth guide to how I set up my car, go and look at that, because that's going to be a much better, more comprehensive, well, it's half an hour, whereas this will be maybe 5 minutes. But basically, what you need to know about setting up cars for Formula 1 2012 is you need to watch out for the understeer. Now, if you're a driver who likes the understeer, great, don't worry about anything. If you can't work with understeer, as my car weirdly did something there, if you can't work with understeer like me, you're in trouble, so you have to kind of mitigate that. Now, the big area where you'll work this is the suspension. As I talked about a lot in the Gran Turismo video, it's all about working the tyres. And basically, this is what I run with. I find that the ride height doesn't really matter in this. I set a car up for relatively low understeer in terms of spring stiffness there, and a little bit of more oversteer there to try and balance it. What else? The aero. Aero I do per track, same with the gearing. You'll see in a second, it's kind of all over the place. Balance. Balance again, I don't really bother too much with. As long as the car turns in, I'm all about the car turning. I'm quite happy. And brakes. Big brakes, high pressure, me gusta. And balance I tend to perhaps fiddle with if it gives me a few taps. Gears I do per circuit. Alignment is where I get a lot of time back. I set it all the way to the inwards thing, so more tyre gets in contact as it's pushed into the road. That's pretty much that. Yeah, very rushed, but basically it is literally a case of making the car turn in for me. That might not suit your driving style, but this is where Tom comes in, another perspective. And in fact, Mike, if you want to talk about how you'd set a car up, feel free to do so. But basically, because I drive with a controller, relatively limited input, you can't be as precise, so I like a little bit of extra grip so I can be a little lazier. Anyone else?
Well, in terms of like with my setup, I mean, there's probably going to be quite a lot of people that will moan actually about this because they'll probably class me as not an actual proper driver for doing it. But to be honest with you, it's going to sound noobish, I suppose, but I do use the quick car setup. The only thing I generally do tamper with, which I've found since the patch to work quite well, is changing my brake balance to the front more than anything else. I used to have it at the rear, and I used to struggle quite a lot actually with oversteer coming into corners. So I kind of had a little fiddle around. It was actually more times when I was practicing on time attack. Now I know that sounds really daft because I think the feel of the car is different in time attack and like a time trial as to what it is when you set up like a custom Grand Prix. I don't know if that's actually true, but it seems to feel it anyway. But in terms of my setup, I'll very rarely mess with anything as it is anyway. I'll just change it to put it at its highest setting on the dry. Oh shit, there goes me into a wall. Lovely. But no, to be honest with you, my setup, nothing really has changed of it. So
Well, that does surprise me because we're getting the Hamilton's way. I cannot work with the quick car setups. Well, again, this is more because I like the way the car to drive a particular way. Just can't get a good feel of the weight of the car move around. So never mind. Anyway, Tom. Speak of the devil. Look at that lap.
My car setup?
Yeah.
Well, as you saw, I think I'm starting to get like a bit confused because I think I've started recording. There's a part of me that thinks, shit, I haven't started it, but I'll check when I get back to the pits. But my setup is generally the custom setup, not custom setup, preset setups like Mike's chose, and there's a car coming by me, so I'm going to have to pull over. Yeah, I just go one notch to the right, so it's one section faster sort of thing, and then I just kind of leave the aero as the same, because that seems to work for all tracks I find, having the aero at 5.5.
Oh,
except street circuits, you need a bit more because, you know, they're a lot tighter, a lot slower, and all that. Brakes I leave alone completely, just don't touch. I think the next one is balance. I do adjust that, but only I can't remember what it's called, but the top section. 2 clicks to the left, so it's 5-7, but that's just to help with steering, so kind of the steering's 1 and 1 with my steering wheel. And the steering wheel on the game. Suspension, ride height, it varies from track to track. Like tracks like, what's a good example? Montreal need like a 5 or a 6.6 setup to handle the curves. Monaco not so much. Actually, kind of.
You vary because
I mean,
especially on 2012, I find that it's a lot more bumpier than it was on 2011.
It's interesting you guys say that because I really can't feel anything, but mind you, controller. I don't know if that's a difference.
But yeah, I also use the ride height to adjust, like, because it says it gives you more downforce at the lower it is, so that gives me extra downforce, which I don't need on the wing. But just make sure I am recording, and yep, we're good. But I'll show you my setup in a sec, really. But so, like tracks like what's a fast track without high curbs? Monza, yeah, that's a good one. Have suspension about 3 or 4, so you get max, like a lot of downforce, and because the curbs aren't generally that high, aren't they?
No.
So you don't really lose much.
What about Silverstone? Something like that.
Oh,
It's kind of half and half.
I go with a 4 there. But in wet weather, I kind of do 1 notch more, just to give it a bit of extra ride height, so I don't bottom out onto the water and slide off track. Alright, so I was at suspension. Gearbox, I leave it as it is. Engine, this depends on what tyres I'm on. If I'm on the harder tyre, I put fuel up to 8 laps, so I can do more runs and find a better line through the corners. But if I'm on options, 5 laps, perfectly fine. And alignment, I tend to have it more to the right, just a little bit, kind of halfway sort of thing. That's to help with turning and also to not degrade the tyres as much. Kind of keep the tyres nice and, what's the right word?
Fresh?
Yeah, fresh and grippy, yeah. As my voice is slowly going, I think I've got my dad's cold now.
Don't you even fucking go there.
Oh, gentlemen!
Hey?
He's gone first, hasn't he?
No,
He's crashed.
I was 8/10 up and then I slid.
Oh,
I slid. I think I've binned it. Never mind.
I'm beating Alonso here. But yeah, but that's generally my setup. As I'll just go to the aero 5 and 5, brakes standard, balance standard, and it's basically just I can't even change the car setup. Oh god damn it! But yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's our car setups.
There you go, and quite a lot of variation there, and it really is, guys, down to you how you drive the cars.
If anything, experiment. Take a bit of what we've all said and kind of try and find one which suits you the best.
Indeed, and certainly the biggest sort of piece of advice I can give is change one thing at a time. Don't change lots of things unless you know you set up well enough to go, I can feel that change, I can feel that change. But,
yeah. Whereas like Chuggy, you said you like oversteer, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't, because it wears my tyres out quickly, and since I'm using a wheel and I have traction control off, they seem to wear a lot faster.
Yep, speak of the devil, I just nearly lost the rear then. The reason I like oversteer is I'm lazy, frankly, turning into the corners sometimes, and I just use that to help me get around, as we've got a bit of a truly train forming here. But yeah, it really does depend on just the way that you like to drive the car. And honestly, what the heck is going on here? Can I join in? Conga line behind Senna. Conga.
I wish I could watch that, but,
I'm catching up to that.
Are you? I will jog on. Raikkonen, well done on the... What penalty? God damn it, sir!
What did you do?
Caused a collision. I did touch young Senna, but god damn it, the deuce. The FIA, John Baby is not keen on the Conga land dancing.
I think this is a good segue into the patch.
That is true.
Because they did change the net code, but like they kind of tried to make the hitboxes online more accurate to where you actually are.
Well, you see, this is my biggest gripe with the game to date online.
It's
Still not good enough. It's still a few meters off, critically in some places, and that is, well, penalty-inducing.
Yeah.
And massive slide, which I just held.
But would you say the AI seemed to be better than the patch or 2011?
I would say yes, but they do some dopey stuff. I mean, for instance, all that slow stuff. Yeah, I get there on their outlaps, but they wouldn't be going that slow. Penalties still need work. I think that penalty there, yeah, I'll take it. I did touch it, but come on, that was nothing. All in all, yeah, the patch has improved things, and that's good. But personally, I want to see more. I want to see more improvements. I don't want new features. I want improvements, Cody.
Well, I just want to go through because I've seen the first 9 patches for
okay, if anyone can spot that, you might want to have a look at the middle of Eau Rouge. There's 2 cars actually stopped in the middle.
What, of the corner?
I just nearly ploughed into them.
John Baby, you give me penalty for Conga. What do you do?
Let's see, console patch 2. Oh yeah, what the other? PC patch 11. I haven't seen that one, so let's see what they've changed in this. Made an improvement to the AI under braking that will stop them from crashing into the back of the player so frequently. That's nice.
That's an improvement which you would like, I expect.
The default Logitech control profile is always selected after player attempts to customize the controls with this wheel. I don't really understand that.
We've got a McLaren which has gone full retard. Hamilton has gone full retard in the pit lane. Hamilton has crashed in the pit lane.
Oh, I actually did something like that in. This is a race I did with Joe. It's a shame he wasn't recording. I think Jake was also there. I can't remember, but in Singapore.
You sounded very Looney Tunes there, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I'm hunting rabbits. Yeah. With Peter Griffin then. But when AI went into the pits, I kind of cut the corner, did like a Vettel cut in the first bit, and hit AI car. All of a sudden, I'm doing a wheelie.
Excellent.
AI's facing wrong way in pit lane. It was hilarious, but it was my own fault. So no penalty.
There you go.
I went like what's his name? Ronnie.
Oh,
not Ronnie Corbett. No, Ronnie Barker in I can't remember what that shop thing's. Where he's got like a stutter. I used to love that. May he rest in peace. Great comedian.
Oh, how beautifully morbid.
What? He's a great comedian. Was.
No doubt. Oh, good lord, the curves are ruining me. It's funny, I say, oh yeah, the rider, you don't need to do anything with that. That's twice now curves had me. Anyway, so yeah, with a minute to go, if you lads don't mind, I'm going to narrate a lap and try and call stuff out per my setup as it happens on the course, if that's okay with you.
That's perfectly fine.
Excellent. And we've got a Caterham going on a little adventure as we come into the bus stop to start the lap. Now, I'm on the prime tyre here, so I'm not expecting as much grip. But
I think I see Chuggy just going across the line now.
And there we go. So down into turn 1, braking a little bit early. Because I've set my brake bias a little bit backward, it will allow me to take a little more speed into the bend there. Hamilton still enjoying his day out in the wall. As we come down the other sort of start-finish straight, we head towards Eau Rouge. Now watch the DRS light. Goes off before you get to Eau Rouge. I didn't touch a button there, a little bit of a slide, that was exciting. DRS is disabled in the game through Eau Rouge, as it was in the season. Can save you a few tenths by basically not having to turn it off and on through there, so keep an eye out for that. Coming down at the end of the Hemel Straight here, on the brakes, we've got a slow-moving car for Cayenne. What's new as I downshift one too many to try and compensate.
Right, let's spectate
Come on,
Chuggy.
car for Cayenne, you slow bugger. Well, I basically actually just ruined this lap because of his slow moving. But anyway, down into this hairpin, very tricky corner. Always will chuck some understeer at you. A relatively nice late apex there as we got another slow-moving car. In fact, conga, conga, conga. What are you going to do, John? Conga, conga. No, you don't.
Do you want to brake test you like Matt did in one of our Silverstone races?
Hang on, this is a sight. Car Cayenne has suddenly found the accelerator, and did he lock up there? He just locked up. Everything's gone mad. This was going to be an educational lap. This has just gone full retard. So, the single formeries! The single formeries! Overtakes car Cayenne.
And locks up going into the corner.
A bit. But this is, again, that's where my setup comes into play, because it's all on the front. I can brake quite late and get away with it sometimes like that. Down into Stavolo 1, a little bit of the curb, into Stavolo 2, a mere 10 seconds off the pace.
Oh, I thought you were going to do a 2011 there, mate.
No, I was fine. All intended. No shits shat there at all. Coming out to Blanchimont, I'm not confident through here, so I'll just flip the DRS off.
Yeah, I do exactly the same, and I've got a bloody steering wheel.
And then down into the brakes, because I've got the bias a little bit different. I have to brake a little bit earlier, because you won't have optimal braking. Screwed up the apexes, but DRS curves to the line.
And across the line.
In 2 minutes. Get in.
And you got a 10th place grid position.
I know, I'm
penalty.
screwed.
So is Massa.
Naughty Massa.
And this is one thing I have found, AI do get penalties.
Well, there's a first.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice.
Also, Jensen is an 18th. The deuce.
Silly Jensen.
Silly Jensen.
That's not where you're meant to be. Mark
No.
Webber's 14th. That's no better.
Also, Lewis, who got stuck in the pit lane, 5th.
Well, at least he put in a decent lap time. Jake, sadly, 11th.
But all can happen in the race, so tune in for that. Dual perspective, just like this video. I think we forgot to mention that. I can't remember. But anyway.
It's going to be amazing!
It is, and we're going to be talking F1 as of late, I guess. And there's things as it happens, I guess,
And
really.
Mike's just going to go on a charge.
Probably. Mike's is just going to go full bikes.
Mm.
So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.